Hey everyone, Mano back here, and today we are clearing the debris of dreams. Thanks so much for watching. Today we are going to clear the entire Shattered Realm in the debris of dreams. That includes every secret, cache, hidden secret, everything that you can potentially get, and completely clear the Triumphs page. First up, before we start, there's a couple things that we need. To completely clear this, you need to have your entire Wayfinder's compass almost completely leveled. There's really only one thing that you can't get, but you definitely need to make sure that you have frequency echoes upgraded and ready to rock and roll. The only thing that you should not be able to unlock is the Astral Attunement, which is the final piece. But again, frequency echoes is the thing that you need to see some of these final hidden secret caches. You'll also need Ager's Scepter, which is the exotic trace rifle. If you need to get that, all the things that you need to get that are down in the description box below. In addition, we're going to be knocking down some destructible walls in the Shattered Realm. If you do not have your catalyst taken care of yet, you can go ahead and get some progress done with that as well. This Shattered Realm has a lot of twists and turns, so we're going to break it down into some digestible pieces. We're going to go over to the left side. There's a central middle area, a central higher tier area, another area to the left, and an area over to the right that you can see. So we're going to break it down basically going from left over to the right-hand side and getting this center cleared up. Now, first thing you need to do is you need to clear the two first beacons, and I'm assuming that you've done that already. There's a beacon to the left-hand side and then a beacon up to the right. After you've done that, clear all of the Scorn here in this central area. That is going to drop an orb that you're going to take with you on one of these secret routes that we're going to take. But again, just clear all these Scorn so you can knock that out and get everything set up. Once you've cleared all the Scorn, you'll see an orb appear and that will despawn. We're going to use that a little bit later. It can just sit there. It's not going to harm anyone for sitting there. It's just going to chill out. So what we're going to do is start by going over to the left-hand side. We're going to clear Ascendant Anchors, caches, and everything else like that, kind of all in one fell swoop. So head over to the left-hand side. The first Ascendant Anchor is going to be on our way up over to the left-hand side. Come around this rock here, and there will be an Ascendant Anchor right here. Make your way back up the platform here. We're going to be using Truesight to get the next couple of things. Hop on this platform, and then continue going up the hill. Off in the distance, you can kind of see where we're going to be going for our next Ascendant Anchor. And for all of these enemies, you can just run by them. It's not a big deal. I'm using a Warlock because I find it to be the fastest. Plus, if I need to float in the air, Warlocks are pretty solid for getting that taken care of. So go ahead, hop over here, and here is the next Ascendant Anchor. For the next part, you're going to need to make sure that you have Ager's Scepter equipped. So make sure you're set and ready to roll. We're going to head over to this area that has a Field of Strife, so you're going to be slowed. There are a couple of enemies that I do recommend that you kill, a couple of Screeb that can kill you first. So before you find any of the secrets, knock them out really quickly. As soon as you've done that, invoke Truesight and move back to the center area. You're going to see a thing here that says suppress the Field of Strife, but the first thing we're going to pick up is actually going to be the first Harbinger's cache, which is this round cylinder here. If you don't see it, it's potentially because you don't have your Wayfinder's compass completely upgraded. So make sure that you've got it as upgraded as you can possibly get. Next up, we're going to go back up to the central platform, invoke Truesight, and then we're going to suppress the Field of Strife. Do it in that order because you need to make sure that you have all of the time for safe passage to get everything that you can get over here. We're going to climb up as high as we possibly can, and you'll see a big, large central area. There will be a chest up here. Next up, we are going to get the first destructible area. You're going to need to make sure you have Ager's Scepter out for that. Jump on back down. And what we're going to do is find that Field of Strife marker and activate it. If you look around close to the marker, there should be an area that you should be able to shoot. It should be sparkling. There's two rocks here. It says immune when shot with a normal weapon. Go ahead and knock it out, and you should have access to a chest. Now, again, you can jump down there, but I don't like being able to not move, so suppress the Field of Strife and come on back down, collect the loot, and then hop out really quickly before you lose safe passage. There's a few more little secrets in this area, so you'll want to suppress the Field of Strife, and then you may notice off in the distance on the left-hand side as you're making your way up, there is one more chest and a platform over here. Be careful, if you go too close to the Field of Strife, it can suppress you and make you fall off the edge. Just be careful though as you make your way, and you should be good to go. We're going to make our way over to the left-hand side again of the Debris of Dreams. That's the big dome-like area off to the left where the first beacon is, and that's also the area where you came from originally. So we're going to head back over to this dome. There's a few more secrets around this area. You won't actually need to go into the dome area, but we're going to go around the side of it. So make your way in here, and you don't need to go into the actual dome itself. So you don't need to go in there. Go off to the left-hand side, and you will see a couple of enemies as well as a couple of doors. Now, one of the doors will bring you into the boss room area or the first beacon area. You don't need to mess with that. I like to invoke Barrier Breach because at this point you should be invisible. You don't have to deal with any of the ads. And inside this small dome here is one more chest. Again, invoking Barrier Breach at this point will give you some invisibility, so there's no reason not to use it. If you don't have Truesight marked, go make sure you use it right here, and then you'll see another Ascendant Anchor off in the distance. As soon as you've done that, we're going to head to the central area where you can see that orb is off in the distance where we cleared all the Scorn before, and we're going to start there next. Okay, you can see the orb to our right, and then you're going to see a fan-like hydraulic system off here. That is where we are going into. There's a bunch of secrets down below in this area, so we're going to clear some ads as we jump down here, and we'll skip ahead to where they are dead. Okay, we've cleared all the enemies. Deactivate the Field of Strife marker, and then invoke Truesight. That's going to show you some platforms and a chest up here in this area. This is an area where you can get lost pretty easily, so I'm going to try and give you some markers along the way. So come on back down. You'll have the Field of Strife over here. We're going to look for a wall that we can shoot that says immune. It's glittering again. That's where we're going to use Ager's Scepter. We're going to knock out the wall and get another Ascendant Anchor. From here, it's easy to get lost, so we're going to show you a couple of paths. This is kind of the lowest room here. This is where there is an Ascendant Anchor here in this spot. Once you've collected that Ascendant Anchor, go ahead and go to this area. There's some light here from this rock. Head up here, and you'll be next to the Wall of Strife. Head over to the left-hand side and outside to the right. From there, you'll see another Ascendant Anchor. If you keep going around the corner, you'll find another wall that is glittering. That will be another wall that you can knock out with your Ager's Scepter and show you another Ascendant Anchor. From there, we need to get a couple of secrets that are kind of in a little bit of a hard spot to see. So there's an Ascendant Anchor there. We need to go back into the room with the Truesight marker, which will allow us to see some of the stuff down below. I like to use the Field of Strife marker because it's pretty easy to orient yourself in this space, and if you get lost, you can kind of look around and be like, oh yeah, that's where I need to go. So heading back into the Field of Strife area, if you do have problems moving through here, using a sword will allow you to actually swipe your way through, or if you're a warlock, you can dash your way through. Head over to the area where you see that tower. There will be a Truesight marker right here. Go ahead and select that and head on down the Ascendant platforms. There will be two things down here. There'll be another Ascendant Anchor that I showed a little bit earlier, but there's also going to be a chest if you continue to follow the path down. Once you get that chest, we are cleared with the lower area here in the center, except for one thing, and that's that orb that is up on top. So I'm going to show you an easy way to get back up to the top in case if you get lost. Again, using a sword whenever you're doing these challenges is going to be really, really helpful. You can basically just follow the Ascendant platforms here, and then once you get to this spot, head off to the right-hand side, and that will bring you back up to the top where the hydraulic fans are, and the orb is there waiting for us. Okay, we're back up here in the center. There is that hydraulic area that we just cleared, and off to our right-hand side is the orb that we've been waiting for a while. Well, now it's time to deal with it. Go ahead and pick it up, and this time we're going to head over to the right side. We're going to pick up a couple of anchors and chests on our way as well. There's no timer on this, so you can do this at your leisure. Our first Ascendant Anchor to the right-hand side is very easy to find. Then head up the hill. You'll see some platforms kind of on a wire rack kind of thing. We're going to jump on top of that and then head up to the very top. This is going to help us avoid some of the enemies here in this area. Jump on down and activate Barrier Breach as quickly as you can. Then you won't have to fight any of the enemies because you'll be invisible. Head into this area and then pick up the chest that is here. The nice thing about the phase breach is that you're invisible at this point, which means you don't have to deal with a lot of the enemies while you are there. So I'm going to invoke Barrier Breach again. Head up through the teleporter. It's going to take you to the upper portion of this area on the right-hand side. You'll find a large platform that you're going to have to stand on, plus an area to deposit the orb. Go ahead and deposit that, and what you need to do next is hop onto the pillar. Basically, you need that to descend the entire way, and then the orb will pop back out. This energy core is essentially going to act as a key that will allow us to access other areas that were not available before. So as soon as you see it come on back out and the platform has descended the entire way, you can go ahead and pick up and then move off to the right-hand side. There's a couple of things to pick up before we leave this area. There's a Truesight marker to the right, so go ahead and collect that Ascendant Anchor, and then quickly move over back to this area. You'll see a chest marker that will allow you to pick up the next Ascendant Anchor and continue down this path. Again, there's no timer on this orb, so keep on making your way down. There are two things down here. There is another chest that you can pick up, as well as another Harbinger's cache to the left-hand side. As soon as you've collected that, head back the way you came and make sure that you pick up the Truesight marker before you leave, or else you may run out of time. So activate that and then head back up the Ascendant platforms. We're going to head back up to the next Truesight marker and head off to the right from that direction. Activate Truesight again to make sure that you've got enough time to make your way over, and there's that tower off to the right-hand side. As you're on your way down, there will be a chest literally on your way. It's very hard to miss as long as you're using the Ascendant platforms. Head on back down, and then we're going to see the marker for where we need to bring the orb here. You're going to jump through this area here, and now this door will open and we can head into this area. Deposit the orb, and then there will be a switch that you'll need to toggle, and that will show you a final chest. I'm going to skip clearing all of the enemies. There is a very easy to find marker here. Just run around in this location until you see that toggle marker and then collect the loot here. Head on back outside, and there will be another Ascendant Anchor on your way out on these stairs. Go ahead and collect that and head out to the left-hand side, and you will be back outside. We've cleared all of the stuff in this tower area here, so now we need to show you the fastest way to get out of here. Climb the stairs here and head to the very top of this building, and there will be some platforms that you can stand on that will take you back over to the rocky area here. You see those areas there? We're going to jump on top of that platform and then head over to the left-hand side. This is going to take us back to the area where we picked up the orb before, the area where we picked up the hydraulic fan. This is a little bit of a big jump here, so if you miss it, it's not a big deal. Just use some of the hills and stuff like that to jump back up. Now we've cleared the right side, the left side. We need to deal with this central location up in here. There's a few things we need to do and a couple of barriers that we can't activate just yet. So let's go ahead and show you all the things here. First up is a very easy to find Ascendant Anchor. If you want to activate Truesight, you certainly could, but I'm on a Warlock, so I'm just going to float my way up on top. There's another glittering wall that you can use Ager's Scepter on. Knock that out and you'll reveal another Ascendant Anchor. Turn back around the way you came, and we're going to deal with the next couple of secrets. You can certainly activate Truesight here, but there's also another Truesight marker right over here on this hill. This would be right outside of the area where the second beacon is. So there's another set of Ascendant platforms. Knock out that Ascendant Anchor and then head over to the left-hand side, and there's another chest that you can pick up. After we're done with that, we're going to head back over to that Truesight marker to our immediate right, and then we're going to head into the area where we got the second beacon activated. So let's head into the area with the second beacon right up here. You don't need to activate Truesight or anything else like that. The next couple of secrets are pretty easy to find. There's an Ascendant Anchor on the back of this elevator type area. Fall down and then you'll see a platform that you can hop onto, as well as a very small glittering wall. Use Ager's Scepter to knock that out. Jump on over, and there is a chest that you'll be able to pick up there. As soon as you've picked that up, head back outside to that Truesight marker outside the door to this area. We're going to need to pick up Truesight, and then we're going to head up the elevator shaft that is here, or these stairs over here to this right-hand side, but you need Truesight first. So jump back over to this location, make sure you pick up Truesight, and you'll need to move very quickly for this. We're going to head up that elevator type shaft. There's a couple of rungs, like it's a ladder or something else like that. There's a couple of larger pieces that you'll be able to clamber on top of. I'd recommend just jumping straight up and clambering. That will help you as you are climbing up this area. Head to your immediate right as you go through there, and as long as Truesight is activated, you'll be able to see this chest right here in this location. Next up, knock out the enemies here so they don't kill you. Very, very close to the chest that you just picked up is a barrier. There's barrier breach right next to it. It's very easy to find, so activate that. You'll go invisible, which is nice in case you don't want to deal with the enemies, and you'll see another chest there. Since we cleared the first secret area, we can now access the door to the right. Activate barrier breach if you want to be invisible. We're going to jump ahead here, and now this door will be unlocked. When you go through this area, you're going to catch a bunch of Scorn basically gathered around a central area doing some kind of Scorn ritual. There's going to be 3 bosses in here, and some of them are going to be immune. That's not a big deal. Don't worry about it. Some of them are basically going to disappear, and you need to go find them throughout the Shattered Realm here. We're going to knock out the first boss, and then we're going to get access to 1 Scorn cache passcode. So if you look to the left-hand side, there's a chest. You'll notice that there's 3 lamps there. You'll need to get all 3 passcodes to access that chest. From there, turn over to this side. You'll see a barrier here. Invoke barrier breach, which will allow us to move through here. There's a chest guarded by a couple of mines. Knock out those mines really quickly, and then you can access the chest here. We're going to use that chest here in this central room as a location marker so we can find our way through. Activate barrier breach again, and we need to find the other 2 bosses that are in the Debris of Dreams so that we can knock them out and get the final 2 cache keys so we can access that chest. Take a second, knock out all these enemies here that are in this location. That's going to make it easier for us to find the final 2 bosses and move quickly through this area. The next boss is through this barrier, as well as a few other secrets as well. So we're going to go ahead and go through this. Luckily, I've still got Phase Breach on, but if you don't, go back to that area where Phase Breach was located and then pick it up. Be careful of some mines on your way out through here. You can jump past them if you would like. Not a big deal. If you don't get that done, that is a-okay. There's a bunch of secrets here in this location, so we're going to make sure we cover each and every single one of them while we have all the markers set. But the first thing we're going to do is invoke Truesight here. There's going to be a chest off in the distance that we're going to pick up. We're going to pick that up very quickly on our way to kill the boss. We're going to head back over to this small dome, and there's an Ascendant Anchor to the left-hand side. Pick that up and then head back over towards the dome. Activate barrier breach, move on through, and then the boss will spawn up here, but it's in a very small closed area. As soon as you kill the boss, there's going to be a bunch of Screeb that are going to spawn. You need to switch to a weapon and keep your distance. You can see here, I actually realized there's Screeb and back up super quick, so don't die at that portion. It's a little bit of a troll on Bungie's part. After that part, invoke barrier breach and make your way back out here to this Truesight marker. From the Truesight marker, activate it, and to your immediate left, there will be a Harbinger's cache here that will appear. It's very easy to miss if you're not looking for it, so just pay attention and make sure that you pick that up before you go. All right, it's time for the 3rd boss. The 3rd boss is a little bit tricky to find. We're going to invoke barrier breach just to make us invisible, and then head back to this hydraulic fan area and head to the very bottom one last time. In this field of strife, you will find the 3rd and final boss, plus a bunch of other enemies. If you've got sword ammo, you can basically just slice your way through here, but you'll notice that he is very, very annoying because he continually disappears when you start to do damage. I stand pretty close to the suppress the field of strife marker so that I can knock him out and also make sure that I can keep moving. There are a bunch of enemies trying to knock you out, and they'll be able to move at a fast speed, whereas you will not be. So knock out those enemies and get the 3rd boss and get the 3rd and final Scorn cache key code. We're going to go back to the suppress the field of strife marker and then head out towards the tower once again. Head out to your immediate left, and there is the hill that will take you back to the central area. The nice thing about this now is that you don't have to run around and go to a bunch of different paths. You've now deactivated a lot of barriers, so basically all you need to do is jump up and go to the cache. Head back into this central rock area here. You can see that the barrier up on top is deactivated, and now you can use the Truesight marker that is right over here and then just hop on top of the platforms to the cache key area. If you don't see one of the flames lit by the Scorn chest, it means you missed one of the bosses, so go back into the guide and make sure that you get all 3 bosses so that you can get all 3 of the passcodes transmitted and you can pick up this final Ascendant mystery. The final secret inside of the Debris of Dreams is a very weird one. It's the first one that we found inside the final align the beacons area, usually where you face a final boss or whatever. So from this central chest platform area, we need to head to that boss area. So go up the stairs here and then head off to your right. There's going to be a stairway that goes down and then the elevator that takes you to the final area. We're going to go through the teleporter and we're not going to activate the beacon. I need to make sure that we reinforce, do not activate the beacon here. So you see that? Don't go near it. Head off to the left-hand side and there is a wall basically outside of the perimeter of this boss area. We are going to jump over it and you should be able to do it pretty easily on all classes. We're going to jump through that little path here. I have no idea why this is here or if there's a secret that's going to be activated later. We have no idea, but we can pick this up now. Head forward and head into this wall right here, and there is an Ascendant Anchor just sitting here within this invisible wall. I'm not sure why it's there. It's potentially something else we could pick up in a later week, but it's accessible now, so there's no reason why you shouldn't get it. With that, we can complete all of the triumphs inside the Debris of Dreams. You'll notice that there's a couple of markers that aren't completed, but as you check all of these off, you'll notice that some of them will start to activate and then you can click them at your leisure. You can see the Cache of Dreams over there, the Wayfinding Dreams, all those other things. Knock those out. And again, this will give you all of the Debris of Dreams and give you every single triumph. All right, everybody, that's going to do it for this video. I hope that you liked it. And if you learned something, make sure you leave a comment down below. A positive rating is greatly appreciated. If you like this and like more Destiny 2 content, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on the bell. If you need any more help, come on over to twitch.tv/manodestra. I do a ton of help over there, especially in PvE, and we'd love to see you there. Good hunting, Guardians. I will see you next time in the universe of Destiny.